We've been talking with former Assistant to President Trump and author of the upcoming book, Taking Back Trump's America, Peter Navarro. This book comes out in September, and you're going to want to get a copy of it because Peter writes like he talks, which is straightforward. It's what I love about him. Peter, you know, we've talked about this outrageous treatment that you had, and I don't know if a lot of people fully comprehend when you talk about executive privilege. If that goes away, no president, I don't care if he's a Democrat or Republican, will ever be able to have an honest conversation with his or her staff, ever. It just will have a chilling effect on the ability to govern.
The Taking Back Trump's America is important, Mike, because we're in a situation in this country. I'm an economist by training, and I've never, ever seen a situation as dire as this economically. I don't want to frighten you folks, but a lot of you were old enough to remember the 70s when we were in a stagflationary crisis. And I was with President Trump, and we had 3 beautiful years where we built the strongest economy in modern history, and it wasn't an accident. We did it by making sound structural changes. We had a mantra, Mike, it was deregulations, tax cuts. That's standard Republican fare. But the really thing that was really important about what Trump did was the trade policies and the tariffs, cracking down on China. It was strategic energy dominance, where we were able to become energy independent and keep prices and gas prices low, and that was critical. And of course, a secure border. So Biden comes in. One of the first things he does is he undoes one of the first executive orders I wrote for the president, which was the Keystone Pipeline, right? Boom, gone in a heartbeat. So what that Taking Back Trump's America does is first has a blueprint for changing the Congress in 2022 and then putting Trump back in the White House in 2024. And if we don't do that, Mike, we're not going to have an economy as we know it. This is a really, in a serious note, as an economist, it's a very difficult time because stagflation is the hardest problem to solve, right? It's like recession and inflation all at the same time. And that's kind of where we're at.
I think when this book is coming out, it officially comes out in September.
Yeah.
I know it can be pre-ordered because I pre-ordered mine the day they came and got you, because I knew that part of your ability to pay lawyers was getting this book. So I bought mine online that day. It'll come to me in September, and I hope other people will do the same. Never
did I imagine in my many years of life that the latest book I would write would be my legal defense fund. So go to Amazon and contribute. Thank you very much.
I appreciate the fact that you were the architect. I mean, President Trump, from his very initial campaign, said we're going to stand up to China. We're not going to let them cheat on trade.
Yeah.
So the philosophical idea was his, but the mechanics of doing it, you were the architect of implementing that in the Trump administration. How big a deal was that, and what did that mean to the average American job?
I think, Mike, the legacy of Donald Trump's first term, there'll be another, was that he basically wakened people up to the Chinese economic aggression. You know, I had the 7 deadly sins of China. You know, it was the counterfeiting, the piracy, the state subsidies, the currency manipulation. And as we speak today, when Biden comes in, our trade deficit with China is over $1 trillion a year now. And that's jobs going offshore. I'm sad to say, I went down to Nashville today. I wanted to buy a T-shirt, right? I went in the T-shirt store and I'm seeing too much made. The point here, Mike, is that unless we onshore our jobs, we're not going to have the jobs, the wages, and the production power to move forward in time. And it's not just our economic security with China, it's our national security. So this was a sea change. And a lot of what I write about in Taking Back Trump's America is that, and this surprised me, I'll be honest with you, Mike, it's like when I got to the White House, there were a lot of people inside the White House who I had to fight, who were the Wall Street types, the traditional, what we call the rhino Republicans. They love the tax cuts, they love the deregulation, but when it comes to fair trade and protecting blue-collar American workers and factories and jobs, that's a tough sell with the deep swamp and things like that. So
globalism has been a disaster for American jobs.
yes.
I just can't thank you enough, Peter, for being here. I hope folks will get the book, Taking Back Trump's America. It's not only a great book, but it's also going to give you insight into why the policies that President Trump implemented worked and why we need to return to them. You can also find all of Peter's links, including what I just mentioned, how to pre-order his new book. If you go to Huckabee.tv, we'll take you right to the place to do it.